Hey guys, so I just got back home from work and I saw this and I thought, really? Who would have guessed? So 1 month after release of South of Midnight, player count plummets despite game media declaring it a success. Of course they are. This doesn't look like a success to me. But whatever. If they want to consider it a success, sure. Super successful, super popular game. I guarantee this game is going to be game of the year. No question. Going to be game of the year. Despite what you've heard from the gaming media, the South of Midnight player count is anything but a success. No, it is a success. Game of the year right here. When South of Midnight was announced, it promised something bold, a narrative-driven action adventure steeped in Southern Gothic folklore with a unique stop-motion art style. It debuted with fanfare during Microsoft's showcase events and landed day one on Xbox Game Pass. From the moment it was revealed, the gaming press rallied around it. A month after launch, the South of Midnight player count numbers tell a very different story. Almost no one is playing it. What are you talking about? These are awesome numbers. I mean, 1,438 people worldwide. That is huge. Those are huge, big PP numbers. What are you talking about? That is huge. Again, worldwide. That's a lot. The billions of people that we have on this planet, and almost 1,500 of them are playing this game. Amazing numbers. I'm serious. It's game of the year. On Steam, where data is publicly available, South of Midnight peaked at a player count of just 1,500 during its debut week. This morning, a full month after the game release, that number plummeted to about 162. Still amazing numbers. Again, 162 people worldwide are playing it. That's huge. And yet, Microsoft and some gaming outlets are still framing it because it is a success. Because it was downloaded over 1 million times on Game Pass. Well, that makes it a success. Like, Assassin's Creed Shadows. It had 3 million players. Not who cares about copies sold? No, it had 3 million players. It was a huge success. This game, same thing. 1,500 people worldwide, and a million people playing it. That's a huge success. Congratulations, Sweet Baby Inc. You had a success. Game Pass isn't a lifeline. It's a distraction. Compulsion Games, the studio behind South of Midnight, touted the 1 million-player milestone with pride. But that number is misleading. Game Pass allows anyone with a subscription to try a game risk-free. Players don't have to buy it, don't have to finish it, and could delete it after 5 minutes with no consequence. In short, that 1 million figure is based on exposure, not retention, not satisfaction, and certainly not success in the traditional sense. This isn't the first time Game Pass has been used to mark a lack of interest. Many underperforming titles are shuffled into the service as a way to inflate engagement metrics and soften financial expectations, but savvy players and analysts are catching on. What are you talking about? This game is a success. Amazing gameplay. Tons of people playing it. Like 1,500 people playing it worldwide. That's amazing. Congratulations, guys. Much of the pre-release, this game's about to make me have a pre-release because it's so damn good. Pre-release focused, praise focused not on the gameplay but on what South of Midnight was trying to do. The Verge called the game a worshipful praise song of Black Southern culture. Kotaku described it as fantastic and applauded its themes and emotional resonance. Though even they admitted that combat grew repetitive and stale. Their reviews often felt like they were grading on a curve, one based on the game's representation and message rather than its mechanics. Because that's all that matters, right? Who cares about the gameplay? They got representation. That's what matters. They got perfect representation of Black Americans in the South. So who cares what the game's like? Who cares? I'm glad those 1,500 people who played it enjoyed it. This kind of framing is increasingly common in today's games media landscape. There's a push to elevate titles that carry identity-driven narratives. Who cares? Because that's the most important thing. Not playing the game and having a fun time. No, it's about the message. Because people like being talked down to and people like being preached to. So who cares what the gameplay's like? Has great music? Nah, fuck it. Has great controls? Who cares? It's about the message. It's about the message. Sweet Baby Inc. involved. The Pikachu Lita controversy. The, gamers were a mistake and crap like that. Adding fuel to the fire is community manager Katie Robinson, also known as Pikachu Lita. A tweet from her years past resurfaced during the South of Midnight launch, in which she stated, "Honestly, I hate gamers." While she later clarified that the tweet was meant to express frustration over online harassment. The damage was done. An industry where developers are increasingly perceived as being out of touch or outright hostile to their own player base, comments like that don't help. Robinson was involved in community promotion for the game, and her presence became symbolic of a wider culture divide in gaming, where some studios seem more interested in appeasing activists on Twitter than building lasting relationships, because that's what matters. Who cares about everyone else? The game has a message, and it needs to pander to the other people. Who cares about 99.9% of the players? Because that minuscule minority of people, that's more than enough to carry a game financially. Make them big peepee numbers and money. They'll be rolling in money. They'll be able to wipe their asses with $100 bills every day. Because that's what matters. Because that's what matters. The people on X, the activists, they matter the most. Because we don't want to upset them. No one wants to appear to be a racist or a phobism. Nope. So, who cares about the 99.9% of people? Fuck them. You don't need them. Seriously, who cares? Fuck them. Another case of style over substance. To be clear, South of Midnight isn't without merit. Its art direction is inventive. Its concept fueling magical realism with southern folklore and underutilized in gaming and deserved a thoughtful execution. But the ideas don't make a game. Execution does. Fuck that. Who cares? It has the representation that it needs. It was released and 1,500 people worldwide played it. Who cares? It was a success. Huge success. Game of the year. South of Midnight suffers from shallow combat, a lack of meaningful exploration, and a runtime that many players pegged at just 7.5. Who cares? Short, sweet, to the point. Great game, and only 7 hours? Come on, what more could you ask for? In today's market where indie games regularly deliver 20-plus hour experiences and AAA blockbusters push 100 hours, this just wasn't enough. No, it was just enough. Again, short, sweet, to the point. A perfect game with a perfect runtime in hours. What more could you ask for? The bigger picture, a trend Microsoft can't ignore. This just added, this isn't just about one game. South of Midnight represents a broader issue with Xbox's recent first-party strategy. Instead of doubling down on gameplay forward, genre-defining experiences, Microsoft has greenlit a number of titles that prioritize narrative themes and social messaging. Good. They need to, because that's the most important thing when it comes to video games. The message. Not the gameplay, not how nice it looks, not the music, not how well it controls. No, the message. That's all that's important nowadays. That's all that we need. The message. Redfall, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and now South of Midnight all share one trait. They were marketed as artistic statements from statements more than games. When Hi-Fi Rush found success thanks to tight mechanics and infectious energy, most of these titles have struggled to capture lasting interest. Microsoft is spending first-party dollars on passion projects that don't resonate with the mainstream. Who cares? It's got a message, and the people who want that message and are the ones who want to be pandered to, they're the ones playing it. So who cares? It's a success. Awesome. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. I'm glad the game's such a success. I'm glad those 1,500 people worldwide enjoyed the game. A month after launch, South of Midnight has vanished from the conversation. The media tried to declare it as a cultural victory. Because it is. Because again, who cares about gameplay? Who cares about the game itself? It did exactly what it was supposed to do. It had a message. And that's the most important thing in video games. The developers pointed to 1 million downloads, but players have spoken with their time, their attention, and their absence. This game was promoted as promoted for what it represented, not what it offered. Now it's a case study in what happens when studios lose sight of the player. What are you talking about? The people who the game was for, those people were exactly the ones that were playing it. So it's a success. Those 1,500 people worldwide, complete success. The 99.9% of people who, they're just phobes, this and isms, who needs them? Because surely the minority is enough to carry a game nowadays. So the game was a success. The people who it pandered to were the very same people who played it. So congrats to South of Midnight for being such a huge success. I'm glad to see it was a successful game, and I can't wait to see it win a Game of the Year. In all categories. All categories. I mean, hell, they might as well just close down the awards show and just South of Midnight wins everything. So, congratulations, South of Midnight, for being such a great game where 1,500 players worldwide had played the game. That's huge. The billions of people on this planet, 1,500 people played it. That is momentous. Monumental. Congratulations. Clap and a half. Anyway, that's enough for me. Yeah, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.